Hello everyone. This is the pre-market report video for today, 12th February 2024 for the Indian stock market in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. First, quickly let's discuss what happened in US market on last Friday. I think most of us know about ChatGPT. There was an unofficial earnings release about their owner OpenAI that the revenue of ChatGPT crossed $2 billion in 2023. Here we know OpenAI's parent is Microsoft. So last Friday, Microsoft rallied and moved above $3.1 trillion market cap for the first time. And also now Microsoft crossed the previous highest ever market cap set by Apple. Anyway, here now the rally was triggered by AI optimism, which in turn made Apple, Google and mainly Nvidia also to increase substantially on Friday. So that's the first positive. Second, on last Wednesday pre-market only we discussed this. London Stock Exchange increased the S&P 500 earnings forecast to 8% from just 4.7% which they forecasted earlier on Jan 1st. Now again they almost doubled the Jan 1st forecast and said that on Q4 2023 they expect S&P 500 earnings to increase as much as 9%. Again, I don't want to exaggerate, but 9% increase on the 500 companies combined index is really massive. This was the second positive. Third, tomorrow night, US government is going to release the January month US inflation data. As a forecast, last Friday, Reuters economist predicted that for January month, the inflation will be just 2.9%. I mean, if it really comes as 2.9% tomorrow, then this is the first time in the last 2.5 years, US inflation comes below 3%. Again, if it happens, then it's the huge positive. But I don't know what I'm missing. Last week, service PMI prices increased 6 points and the US consumer confidence was also very high. So I doubt the inflation number will come to be this low. I mean, if it comes below 3%, then it's good. But as I said, I don't expect that based on the totality of the data, what I saw. But I'm not an economist. I can be wrong. Let's see. Anyway, last Friday, AI optimism, LSEG increased forecast and low inflation forecast. Those were the three very strong positives and made the S&P 500 to close above 5,000 for the first time. Again, this closing above 5,000 is also a psychological positive. Then on the negative side, Pepsi gave a very much mixed guidance, which in turn affected the stock price by over 3% and it did affect the whole consumer sector. So Dow Jones alone closed negative, but other two index closed on a positive note. As I said, Dow Jones decreased marginally by 0.14%, S&P 500 up by 0.57% and Nasdaq rallied near 200 points. Regarding VIX and oil price, it haven't moved much. VIX was still the same below 13. About oil, on Saturday morning, WTI crude closed at $76.5 per barrel and Brent crude was traded around $81.5 per barrel. Coming to Indian ADR, apart from Infosys, all others closed positive, more or less in line with the Indian market close. Even Infosys did close negative in the Indian market. So Friday ADR closing is just a lagging indicator and I don't think it's giving any clue for the future price movement. Then in terms of GIFT Nifty, on Saturday morning it closed at 21,921. About premium, it was roughly 80 points, which was very much reasonable for the continuation of short-term positive trend. Now for today, based on Saturday's closing, it's indicating gap up opening of 50 to 70 points. So that's the overall about the global market. Now let's move to the Indian market related info. We know last Friday Nifty had a really volatile day and on the positive side it was mainly supported by selected banks. Regarding that, I think three things influenced the price action. First, before our market opening, US investment firm Jefferies made an announcement that in their India long portfolio, they are going to reduce 2 points in their HDFC Bank shareholdings and those 2 points they are going to invest each point in Axis Bank and SBI. Here, this made the HDFC Bank negative but positive on SBI and Axis Bank. Second, in between trading hours, BNP Paribas, one of the mega biggest investment firm in Europe, upgraded the target price for HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank and Axis Bank, which in turn trimmed and did turn the HDFC Bank also positive. Third, 45,000 mark acted as a strong support and triggered the short covering. Again, we can discuss all those technical in the technical section part of the video. Then about institution, FII net bought for marginal 140 crore rupees and DAI net sold for around 420 crore rupees. Here, one important good thing was on last Friday, after 1 month, finally both FII and DAI trade value comes down to their historical average value. About earnings, during weekend, ONGC, Hero MotoCorp and Aurobindo Pharma are some of the major Indian companies released the earnings. Here, Hero MotoCorp and Aurobindo Pharma, both top line profit increased massively and it did beat the analyst expectation, but ONGC profit dropped near 8%. So those three stocks will be on focus. Finally, Indian government didn't extend the FAME 2 subsidiary scheme, which is to promote EVs. They expect the scheme to end by March 2024. So clearly, this will be negative for all EV related stocks. As a summary, US market closed on the positive note, especially the thing that S&P 500 crossed the 5,000 mark for the first time, and also today there won't be any Chinese market due to the Chinese New Year. So the main Asian market influencer is just a Japanese market. At present, it opened on the positive note. In line with that, GIFT Nifty and Indian ADR all indicating the positive opening. Here, one more thing. Today evening, India's consumer inflation is due to release. So possibly that can also trigger either profit booking or the short covering. On the negative side, during weekend, RBI suspended 3 more NBFC companies and there are more uncertainty around Paytm. So there is a chance that might spoil the positiveness, especially the stocks which got some compliance issues. Then yesterday, as per stock open interest, Power Finance, MRF, Ramco Cement, REC and Indian Oil Corporation got an increase in open interest along with the negative close, indicates the short build-up. On the other hand, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, ZTV, Sun Pharma, ACC and Bharat Forge got an increase in open interest with a positive price close, indicating the long build-up. About the things to look out, today 480 companies, almost near quarter of the listed active companies going to release their earnings today. In that, Coal India, Bharat Forge, GSK Pharma, HAL, NHPC and SAIL are some of the major companies that are scheduled to release. In terms of macro, there is nothing that I'm aware that are scheduled to release during our market time. But after our market close at 3:30 p.m., Europe economic forecast, then at 5:30 p.m., India's consumer inflation, industrial growth, and in night for US, some FOMC members press conference and Fed budget balance sheet are the important items we need to keep an eye out today. Coming to technical, Nifty opened flat and it had some volatility, but it gained strength in the last couple hours of trade and closed 64 points positive. Thus, on the daily chart, Nifty formed a green candlestick pattern with a lower shadow. Basically, in the last 2 days in a row, Nifty found support at the 20 daily moving average and also this lower shadow on the candlestick indicating the emergence of buying at lower supports. However, on the weekly chart, Nifty formed a bearish candlestick with upper and lower shadow, which in turn indicates the volatility. But on the positive side, 2 weeks in a row, Nifty forms a higher high and higher low formation. In addition, here if we draw the upward sloping trend line, then the support comes to around 21,550 to 21,600. So on the short term perspective, as long as these levels hold, then consolidation will continue and Nifty might again make a move towards 22,000. So the overall uptrend remains intact and there is a possibility of upside towards 22,000 and the support is at 21,600 to 21,500 zone. In case of Bank Nifty, it increased over 1%. So on the daily chart, it formed a long bullish candlestick with minor upper and lower shadow. And on the weekly chart, it formed a bearish candlestick with a long lower shadow. Both showing the support strength at 45,000 and the 200-day exponential moving average is around 44,700 mark. So 45,000 to 44,700 will be the critical support zone. Looking ahead, the immediate resistance on the upside is situated at 46,000 and a decisive break above this level might trigger the further short covering. Moving on, regarding the weekly options front, the maximum call option open interest was at 22,000 strike, followed by 23,000 and 22,500 strike with meaningful new call option writing at 22,700 strike, then 22,500 and 22,200. Thus, the options data indicated that the index may face strong resistance at 22,000. Whereas on the put side, the maximum open interest was at 21,500 strike, followed by 21,000 and 21,700, with new put option writing at 21,500 and 21,700 strikes. Hence, with support at 21,700 and then 21,500. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video, so it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers' educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.